Right now, as you're listening to this, something unusual is moving silently through our solar system. It doesn't flash across the sky. It doesn't announce its arrival. And if our telescopes had looked away for even a moment, we might never have known it was here. This object is called Interstellar Comet 3I Bar Atlas, and on the surface it seems like just another frozen fragment of space. But the deeper scientists look, the harder it becomes to ignore one uncomfortable question. What if this object is more than just a comet? We like to think of our solar system as familiar territory, predictable, governed by rules we understand. Planets follow stable paths. Comets return on long, looping orbits. Everything feels accounted for. But interstellar objects break that sense of order. They don't follow our rules. They arrive without warning, move on trajectories we didn't anticipate, and leave just as suddenly. They are reminders that the universe is not designed around us, and that we are not isolated from what lies beyond. For decades, scientists believed that objects from other star systems passing through our own would be extraordinarily rare. That belief collapsed in 2017 with the discovery of Oumuamua. It was fast, oddly shaped, and behaved in ways that defied easy explanation. It showed no clear signs of a cometary tail, yet it accelerated as it left the solar system. Some researchers proposed exotic but natural explanations. Others asked a more provocative question: could Oumuamua have been artificial? That idea was controversial and remains so. Most scientists favor natural explanations, but the fact that the question was taken seriously at all marked a turning point. It meant that interstellar objects were no longer just geological curiosities. They were potential messengers. And that context matters when we look at 3I Bar Atlas. Unlike Oumuamua, 3I Bar Atlas behaves more like a classic comet. As it approached the sun, ice began to warm, gas streamed into space, and a visible coma formed. On the surface, that seems to settle the debate. Natural object, case closed. But science rarely works that way, because even if something looks natural, that doesn't mean it can't carry deeper implications. The first mystery is its origin. 3I Bar Atlas did not form here. It was born around another star, in another planetary system, under conditions we can only guess at. Its chemistry, its structure, and its trajectory are shaped by a history completely separate from our own. And that raises a subtle but important possibility. What if advanced civilizations, if they exist, use objects like this deliberately? It's not as far-fetched as it sounds. Comets are stable, difficult to detect, and capable of surviving immense journeys through interstellar space. They don't require propulsion. They emit no signals, and they can carry material safely for millions, even billions of years. If a civilization wanted to send something across the galaxy without drawing attention, a comet would be an ideal vehicle. That doesn't mean 3I Bar Atlas is artificial. There is no evidence that it is. But asking the question forces us to think differently. Could a natural object be repurposed? Could information be embedded at a level we don't yet know how to detect? Or could the mere act of sending material between star systems be a form of communication in itself? Some scientists argue that if life is common in the universe, then so are its byproducts. Not just radio signals or laser pulses, but physical artifacts, objects that drift slowly and silently between stars. In that context, interstellar comets become more than debris. They become potential carriers of chemistry, biology, or technology. Even without intelligent intent, 3I Bar Atlas could still play a role in something extraordinary. Comets are known to carry complex organic molecules, amino acids, carbon compounds, the raw materials of life. If objects like this routinely pass through young planetary systems, they could deliver those materials to worlds that are just beginning to form. Over time, that could mean life itself is not isolated to single systems, but connected across the galaxy by a slow exchange of matter. This idea is deeply unsettling and deeply hopeful at the same time. It suggests that life, if it exists elsewhere, may not be as separate from us as we imagine, that the galaxy could be quietly sharing its ingredients long before any civilization learns how to speak across the stars. Another strange aspect of 3I Atlas is how fleeting our encounter is. The sun will bend its path slightly, but it will not capture it. The comet will pass through and disappear into interstellar space. This gives us only a brief window to study it, and that raises another uncomfortable question. If this object were artificial or even partially modified, would we know? Do we actually have the tools to recognize technology that doesn't resemble our own? Human technology leaves obvious signatures, radio waves, heat, structure. But an advanced civilization millions of years older than ours might not use anything we would recognize. Their technology could be quiet, cold, indistinguishable from nature, at least to us. Most astronomers are careful to emphasize that there is no direct evidence linking 3I Atlas to extraterrestrial intelligence. And that caution is important. Science advances by ruling out the mundane before embracing the extraordinary. But it also advances by asking difficult questions, even when the answers are uncomfortable. As our detection capabilities improve, we are likely to find more interstellar visitors. Some will look like ordinary comets, some may look like asteroids, and some may not fit neatly into either category. Each one will force us to confront the same question again and again. Are we only seeing natural objects, or are we simply not yet capable of recognizing something else? 3I Atlas may turn out to be nothing more than a frozen relic from another star system, a wandering piece of cosmic debris that happened to cross our path. But even that outcome is profound. It tells us that the galaxy is not a collection of isolated worlds, but a connected system, constantly exchanging matter and history. And it reminds us that we are still beginners when it comes to understanding what is possible. As this comet leaves our solar system, it carries no message that we can read, no signal we can decode. But it leaves behind a question that lingers long after it's gone. If something so ordinary can travel between stars, unnoticed for so long, then what else might be out there, moving quietly through the darkness, waiting for us to finally learn how to see it?